everyone, I'm Pam Murphy, and you're watching PAM Time. That's an inspirational and educational show featuring the performing arts. That's music, dance, drama, art, but most of all, it's fun. We've got a great show cut out for you tonight. I hope you stay tuned, you're gonna love it. So come celebrate the arts with PAM Time. Hey everybody, you're watching PAM Time. Now tonight's performance, you're going to see a wonderful exhibition of contemporary dance. And this is brought to you by the Pushing Progress Dance Company, which is located in New York City, headed up by Kaylin Kirkin, Chris Hale, and Bryn. And you can get information on this at www.pushingprogress.com. You can check it out there. But what happened was they brought their spring showcase up to Walden, New York. And they got to do this in a black box theater, which is really nice. Got to be up close and personable with all of the performers. And you got to see all this rhythmic movement and how they captivated emotions into a contemporary dance style. So I want to commend all the performers who came out for us from Pushing Progress, and all the choreographers and dancers and everybody else who performed. It was just wonderful. So here is some of the clips that you're going to see from these brilliant dancers. And this is again at the New Rose Theater, located in Walden, New York, at 35 East Main Street, part of the Hudson Valley Conservatory, where you can get music, dance, and drama lessons. So let's give a look at some of these highlights. Enjoy, it's PAM Time.
Come
contemporary training program that was the 2015 Spring Showcase that was brought up to Walden, New York. So you got to see a couple of the highlights. What a spectacular show. So now you're going to get to hear a wonderful question and answer session brought to you by the entire ensemble of Pushing Progress, as well as the choreographers and the founders. So let's give a listen to some of the educational as well as informative things that they have to say about dance and the craft and everything that goes along with it. So let's give a listen.
Celebrity inspires.
You know what, like, I mean, obviously I did a solo on a particular person, so I mean, really she is the inspiration for the piece because it's going to be on her, for her. But I think, inspiration can come from so many different places. It's not, it's like everything that we do can inspire us. But actually, I would say that, like, kind of Rachel's personal journey really inspired the piece. It really became about her and what she was going through. And I think that's really awesome when you can have that with a dancer, where you're in the space and we start talking about what's going on with them, and the movement sort of reflects what's happening in their lives, and that makes it even more personal, I think, for me. Anybody else inspired by, like, Kim Kardashian or anything? Yeah, Rachel?
I mean, my piece wasn't inspired by her, but I love her.
But you're generally inspired?
I'm generally inspired by her.
I mean,
Great.
I'm inspired by the other artists here. When I'm done with a long day, I have a tendency to sneak into Bryn's rehearsals, and I throw my bag down and I like sit cross-legged on the floor and put my phone down and I just watch. And I find that there are so many moments in my life in creating and working with students that sometimes just getting away from the work and going and seeing people who are also invested in what they're doing and are living in that can be very inspiring. I think watching someone do what they love doing is motivation enough to get up in the morning and really find what you're great at and what it is that you want to experience in this life.
Yes.
Why don't you give the dates of your Pushing Progress workshop?
Oh.
Shameless plug, here we go. Dates of the Pushing Progress workshop. Our pre-professional, professional level summer intensive runs August 2nd to 8th, and that's 7 days, roughly 10 hours of dancing a day, and that's Midtown Manhattan at Danny Studios. And our junior dig this year is August 14th to 16th, and that's 3 days at roughly 7 to 8 hours of dancing. We want them tired when they're done so they come home and sleep. The ages of summer dig is 10 to 14, and the pre-professional professional is 15 and up.
Ashley!
Yes, Ashley.
I'm wondering the age range of everybody that's born tonight. I don't know if that's a bit too personal. You can answer in fun. I'm just saying generally.
Generally?
Of all the dancers, Taylor's 18, right? Taylor and Madison, are you still 18? So we've got 18 to and up. 18 and up. In our training program, we tend to have a broad range of ages. Like, for instance, the year that Joe was in the program, how old are you, 26?
No,
I was
27.
You and Aaron was 26, about to be 27, and so they were year. It was year 4. You were year 4. And we had, I think that you guys were the oldest we ever had in the program. But yeah, we've had. But there's always a range. Like, every year there's a range. Like, who's the oldest?
You were the perfect age for the program.
And that's what's a funny thing about that. It's like, we talk about the idea of, like, longevity as a dancer, and having it, like, how long can you really extend a dance career? Well, you can extend a dance career as long as you want to, as long as you're willing to continue to, like, investigate and work on yourself and invest in yourself. And so when you have someone coming in at 27 years old who's already been dancing, who's been out there and really wants to like dive further into themselves to really get the most out of what they can do, that's the most inspiring thing. So it's like you can't say like, oh, we don't want anyone older than 25, because like, I mean, if you turn down people like that, you're missing out on an opportunity to actually work with somebody who's in the right place to take on all of the personal work and like breaking down and just like stuff that you have to go through to actually get toward your greatness, you know? And that's also why we don't turn away younger students, because you walk in, you know, and you get some really young students that are like, you know, they have like drive and passion and are willing to also like put their nose down and like do the work and really commit to it. So, you know, I think that's really lovely that we're able to have such a spectrum of ages in our program, and be able to offer what we do to them.
Chris, you said the word work, and I just want to kind of go off that word work. Work is work. Let's not get confused and call work fun and call dance fun and all of that sort of stuff. It can be fun, and you can choose to have a lot of fun. Work is work. You know, and I think that that's the one thing for young students or even parents to understand is it's not easy to step into a studio in front of a mirror every single day, close your feet to first position, pull up your abdominals, and continue doing actions with your body for hours and hours on end. Great dance doesn't, quote unquote, feel good. It's hard work, and I think the brilliance is learning to love work, learning to love to be invested in your body, you know. Yeah.
I think it would be great for some of the kids to know how often the dancers spend and how much time they spend in class.
Yes. Yes.
Well, our training program is 14 hours of dance a week, and that's not enough. We're really looking at trying to increase it to about 18 if we can, and then we've had years where, you know, we've got those 14 hours a week, and then like dancers like go out on top of that and take class outside of the time that we're bringing. Emily, who's third year with us, is also currently doing a ballet program. So she dances with us like 4 days a week, and then spends her evenings doing a full ballet program, and then in the evening. So that's
So how much
is
tell the kids that they should know how much time they're
for you, Emily. Yeah.
Well, so I do the program, and then every day the classes either run, the ballet classes either run from 4 to 7 or 4 to 8 every day. It's Monday through Friday. And Saturday it's 12 to 4.
She's doing like 7.5, sometimes 8 hours of dance a day, depending. Plus,
6 days a week.
Yeah.
plus she's also supporting herself and in New York and has a job and babysitting and doing whatever it takes to keep those, to be able to fund that.
Once you're out of a training program setting and you are supporting yourself, like I know personally, I'm lucky if I get 1 to 2 classes a week at this point because of funds, because of schedules or whatever. So you get to the point where like the time you spend in the studio, an hour, I mean some weeks, 7 out of 7 days I get 90 minutes in the studio.
Holy time.
As far as class, and class is not the same as rehearsal, a whole different mindset,
Right,
a whole different way of working.
Right.
So it really is about the time that you put into it, because if that 1 hour and a half a week is all you get, you better make it something, you know. So and life goes in different phases with what we do, the freelancer kind of lifestyle. So sometimes you get to take a lot of class and it's awesome. Financially not so awesome, you know what I mean? It's definitely a balance that you kind of have to hit a stride with and then be ready to shift it, because it's hard, because all we want to do is be dancing all the time, but you know, push comes to shove,
Yeah, pay for it.
you know.
Yeah.
So
With that 90-minute class, though, if you're practicing greatness,
Right.
yeah,
then
If
that
you're
that 90
dedicated.
minutes is what you get. And if you know what it is that you're working on in that 90 minutes and you dedicate that 90 minutes to that, and that's in your mind through the rest of your week, and you are practicing who you want to be as an artist all the time, then that 90 minutes is going to work for you, you know what I mean?
and it makes you really, really work hard, because all you want to be is in the studio dancing for yourself, but sometimes life doesn't let you. So when it does, you know, you really appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah.
Continue your art, your craft? What is that process? Like, you really boil it down to like you really, you know, I mean, the greatness thing, right? It's part of it, but you do you have a physical process? I want to understand, is there, how do you teach dance? I mean, what is that process?
For me, it's I'm constantly in process myself, and so everything is my own journey about work, my own personal work. What am I working on in myself? Who do I want to be? I'm always creating myself. I'm always working on myself. It's like, I mean, any of them can tell you, I'm reading 4 different, like, self-help, motivational, like, you know, seeing this person, going to this thing. Everything is about me and about, like, it's all about me.
It should be.
But it's all about
Finally!
But like, it's all about like, how do I achieve what I want? What are my goals? And like pushing myself to my limits, and then like figuring out what that means in like bringing it to my students and looking at them and trying to help them get to their goals. And what information I'm always gathering information, whether it's like doing, you know, getting certified through ABT to teach ballet, getting certified in gyrotonic. I became a spin instructor for a year and a half and taught at Soul Cycle. Like, what was that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? But it's all this like process of like reaching and gathering, and I'm constantly in creation of myself. And so I have so much to like bring to them and say like, okay, this is what we're doing. Like, and what do you want? And how are we going to create you? And what is your goal? And what is your dream? And then like the technique of it is just like, I mean, you have to study the technique and you have to know the technique. The technique is what it is. Like, we're not necessarily changing the technique of dance. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're studying it and we're helping it evolve in a way. But for me, it's about like, that's there, and that's just like the language that we use. But really, it's about like, how are you going to get what you want out of the situation? Like each individual one of them, how are we going to get them to where they want to be? And I don't really know that you can like pinpoint that process, because it's going to be different for each and every one of them, and I'm going to have different things to say to each and every one of them based on like, you know, my experience too. You know, it's like you can't really like, you know, map it and say this is the thing.
I mean, going off of that, Rachel and Emily, just want to raise your hand for a second. These 2 lovely birds here. They choreographed the piece Feathers, which closed the first half, and they are part of our professional development program, which was a new program for us this year. And it was led by, most of you know, Alani, who works here as well, who's associate director of Pushing Progress, and she really developed this program for artists to go out and create their ideal experience and their ideal training and their ideal work life in the community. And neither of them had the same plan. She walked in and was like, what do you want? What do you want to do? And how are you going to get there? And basically acted as a coach to help direct them. But the whole thing with them is that they both know what they want, and they actually have all the answers they need. And they also know where it is that they need to study and what they need to do in order to get what they want, because they have a goal. They can decipher it and understand what needs to go there. So, you know, if we're doing a great job of teaching, then we become obsolete in a lot of ways. We're just there to say, you know the answer, and they're like, oh yeah, I do. I really, really do. So go and do what it is that you know you need to do. You know what I mean? And I think, and it's almost 10. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that's helpful. Yeah. Yes.
To the gentleman there, I personally was so impressed with his performance, especially to that song. That song is one of my favorite songs. And I wondered, what gave you the movements, and how did you come about feeling the feelings into that song? I'm so impressed, really.
Oh, thank you.
impressed.
Thank you so much. Part of me is just like, I moved to New York about 3 years ago from LA. And so part of me is just reinvention of myself and kind of just enjoying life again. I turned 40 here. So I'm trying to dance again.
All right.
So I'm just trying to enjoy it again, and it's not a lot of bells and whistles, big stuff, but it's stuff that I can do and really enjoy, and like kind of, it's the little stuff that it doesn't necessarily matter if it's like this and that, but it's the little things that you can communicate to everybody, and just the way you present it, And I think there's so many different ways as you grow older. You know, you can still move, and there's so much to do and just enjoy, you know, life in so many different ways. But you know, as a performer, you just got to do what you got to do and just have fun with it.
Here's our last question.
one.
How old do you have to be to do this? Because me and my friend want to do it and we're 9.
Well, if you're 9, are you taking dance class? Then guess what? You're doing it. And that's just it. You're in class, you're doing what these dancers are doing, and that's pretty awesome that you're 9 and that you're wanting to spend the time and dedicate your time doing this. So you are doing it. And when you graduate high school, if you want to do what we are doing and join our program, then you can do that once you're in high school.
Yeah.
She'll actually be planned in August, so you're
Right.
big program.
Yeah, for the summer program, yeah.
Well, we got to wrap it up because some of you guys got to be back here in the morning, right? For like class and stuff.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, okay.
9 o'clock class.
So thanks again for coming out. I hope that you enjoyed the show.
Hey everybody, it's Pam Murphy, and you've been watching PAM Time. I want to thank you for tuning in. What a great show. And come in again next week as we show you another wonderful event that we have planned for you. Hey, tap into the performing arts in your community. You won't regret it. So I'm Pam Murphy, signing off with PAM Time. Goodbye and good night.